What is violence? I was bullied during the first few years of high school, and I always thought that I could solve these small acts of violence through violence. An eye for an eye. Though Gandhi did say an eye for an eye would make the whole world blind, and now that I look back at it, it really wasn't that simple. Everyone has their own problems. Some handle them well, and others don't. Some channel their frustrations on other people, because they don't know how to handle their emotions. This kind of behavior only brings about anger and violence that spread like a disease. It was then that I saw what I could become if I let anger take over my emotions. It all started in high school, when I was picked on with my friend, Jake. Funny thing is, we always tried to avoid trouble, but it somehow managed to find us. I remember how frustrated I was, that he was always able to get away with it with no consequences. I was so angry at him, and even more so with myself for being so weak. I just wanted to get stronger than get even, so I joined karate class, hoping to learn how to beat him at his own game, to fight for what I thought was right, so I could give Mark and those that were like him a taste of their own medicine. Though as I got further into it, I realized it wasn't all about rage, anger, and vengeance. It was about control, about knowing better and being the better man. If I'd let my emotions get the better of me, if I senselessly fought, only to get even, what better would I be than them? Violence begets violence. I needed a sense of control. As expected, Mark, the bully who had made my high school life a living hell, started picking on us again. Except this time, I knew exactly how to physically hurt him. But knowing what I did it. And Jake, on the other hand, let his emotions take full control and decided to lash out on him like a wild animal. I had to stop him. He was beating him up. You could see the rage in his eyes. It had driven him mad. I looked back at the fight and I realized I've never seen Mark look so afraid. I knew he deserved the beating and that I should have loved every second of his suffering. Somehow I felt sorry for the guy. He was terrified. It was like he was in a state of sheer panic and helplessness. That couldn't have been right. I was on my way out of a mini-mart when I saw Mark. He was surrounded by men who looked like they were ready to cause trouble, so I thought they were his friends, till they started beating him up. And as much as I wanted to avoid trouble, I had to help him out. Though unlike Jake, I used my words. We got to talking after, and it was then that he told me that these guys had been picking on him for the longest time. He apologized for picking on Jake and I, told me that the only reason he did it was to blow off some steam. It wasn't easy trying to escape the pressures and anxieties of life. To think all this time, Mark was picking on us because someone was picking on him. He turned into a bully, and then turned Jake into this anger-driven person. It's like a cycle. All that could have been avoided if someone had just stopped to think how they would affect everyone else. That if they'd stopped, they would break the chain of violence so that no one would get hurt the way they did. What most people don't realize is that you always have a choice. And that these choices, no matter how small we think they are, they have the power to change ours and everyone else's lives. Our actions make a ripple effect that go far beyond the circle of people we think we're reaching. Like everything else, violence is a choice. What would you choose?